My name is Jeremy Tubbs, and I'm about to take you on a journey, one that many fear to tread. We're diving into the topic of the 72 demons of the Goetia and Lucifer himself. What are they? Who are they? And more importantly, why does their presence and influence still ripple through history, religion, and even modern society? This isn't just about listing names or repeating what's already been said. We're going to break this down layer by layer, exposing the truth behind the myths, the warnings, and the power associated with these entities. I want to explore how these demons are invoked, what their roles are, and whether they still hold sway over people today. Some say that knowledge of these beings is dangerous, that even speaking their names invites trouble. But I believe that understanding is power. Ignorance doesn't protect you. It leaves you vulnerable. So, if you're ready to uncover what lies beneath the surface, keep reading. But be warned, once you open this door, there's no turning back. Let's begin. The 72 demons of the Goetia are detailed in the Ars Goetia, the first section of the Lesser Key of Solomon, an ancient grimoire believed to have been compiled in the mid-17th century. But these entities didn't just appear out of nowhere. Their roots trace back to even older traditions, ancient deities, and spirits rebranded over time as demons through religious shifts, particularly with the rise of monotheistic faiths. These demons are said to be bound by King Solomon, the biblical figure known for his wisdom and command over spirits. The idea is that Solomon controlled them through magical symbols and divine authority, forcing them to serve his purposes. But why would someone so wise and blessed by God deal with demons? That's one of the many contradictions we'll explore. Lucifer is often confused with Satan, but they are not the same. The name Lucifer comes from Latin, meaning light-bringer or morning star. This figure symbolizes rebellion, enlightenment, and the pursuit of forbidden knowledge. Some see Lucifer as a tragic figure, a being who defied authority for the sake of truth and autonomy. Others view him as the ultimate deceiver, the one who led humanity astray. My interest lies in why Lucifer's narrative is so compelling. Is he the villain, the misunderstood rebel, or both? And how does his influence intertwine with the 72 demons? Are they his servants, his allies, or reflections of humanity's own darkness? Each of the 72 demons has a name, rank, and specific abilities. They are kings, dukes, princes, marquises, and more, each ruling over legions of spirits. Their descriptions are vivid. Some appear as monstrous beasts, others as seemingly beautiful beings. But appearances are deceiving. We'll examine their sigils, the symbols used to summon or bind them, and the rituals described in grimoires. But this isn't a guide for invocation. My goal is to understand their roles and why they were cataloged with such precision. What do they represent? Are they literal beings, psychological archetypes, or metaphors for human desires and fears? You might think these are relics of the past, but the 72 demons in Lucifer's mythos permeate modern culture, in movies, books, music, and even corporate logos. Their symbolism is everywhere, often hidden in plain sight. Why? Because symbols carry power, consciously or not. We'll explore how these entities are portrayed in the media and why society remains fascinated with them. Is it just for shock value? Or is there an underlying truth we're drawn to, something ancient and primal that we can't ignore? Writing this isn't just an academic exercise for me. It's personal. I've seen how ignorance can leave people exposed, how curiosity without understanding can open doors that are hard to close. This book is my way of confronting that darkness, not to glorify it, but to shed light on it. If you've made it this far, you're ready. Let's continue to break the chains of fear and ignorance together. Demons are often described as spiritual beings associated with evil, deception, and destruction. Their nature and origin vary, depending on cultural, religious, and philosophical beliefs. Here are a few perspectives. Biblical perspective. In the Bible, demons are considered fallen angels who rebelled against God alongside Satan. They work to influence, deceive, and oppress humanity, often targeting people's minds, emotions, and actions. They are seen as real, personal entities with the goal of leading people away from the truth of God. Spiritual influence. Demons are thought to inhabit or influence environments, objects, and even living beings. Some believe they manifest through behaviors like addiction, pride, narcissism, or through cultural practices that unknowingly invite them, such as certain rituals, idolatry, or occult activities. Mind and control. You've mentioned that demons can affect the mind, like parasites influencing thought patterns. This aligns with the idea that they don't always need possession. They can manipulate through fear, lies, and control over one's desires, leading to self-destructive choices. Cultural interpretations. Different cultures have varying views on demons. Some see them as spirits of the dead, nature spirits turned malevolent, or beings from other realms. They might not always be seen as evil, but as forces that require respect or appeasement. Personal contracts and influence. As you believe, people can unknowingly make contracts with demons, seeking power, success, or fulfillment in ways that open doors to spiritual consequences. This reflects how demons deceive by offering temporary benefits in exchange for long-term spiritual harm. I want to talk to you about something most people overlook or dismiss: the 72 demons of the Goetia and Lucifer. These aren't just ancient names buried in dusty old books. They represent real spiritual forces that many people unknowingly interact with every day. The Ars Goetia, part of a book called The Lesser Key of Solomon, describes these 72 demons. It's said that King Solomon had the power to summon and control them using rituals, seals, and incantations. Each demon has a name, a rank, like king, duke, or prince, and specific abilities. They offer things people crave: power, knowledge, wealth, influence. But here's the catch. They don't give without taking. They trade temporary gains for spiritual bondage. These demons are masters of deception. They don't always show up with horns and flames. They slip into your life through thoughts, emotions, desires, and even the culture around you. They promise enlightenment, success, or freedom, but they leave you empty, controlled, and lost. Then there's Lucifer. The name means light-bearer or morning star. Some believe he's Satan himself, the ultimate rebel against God. But what's more dangerous is how he operates. Not as some dark figure lurking in the shadows, but as a deceiver who disguises himself as light. He tricks people into thinking they're enlightened, free, or powerful, while binding their souls in chains they can't see. The Bible warns us about all of this. Deuteronomy 18 verses 10 to 12 makes it clear. Don't mess with sorcery, divination, or spirits. 2 Corinthians 11 verse 14 says, Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. Ephesians 6 verse 12 reminds us that our fight isn't against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces of evil. This isn't just ancient history or myth. These spirits are active today. In music, movies, media, politics, even some churches. People make contracts with them without even realizing it, chasing after success, love, or security. But they're really opening doors to spiritual darkness. I'm sharing this because I see how deep the deception runs. It's not about scaring you. It's about waking you up. The battle is real, but so is the power to fight back. That's what I'm diving into in my books, exploring how fasting, faith, and understanding the spiritual realm can break these chains. Stay sharp. Stay aware. The fight is already here. And here's the thing. I'm not just talking about demons like they're distant, ancient entities. They're closer than most people think. They show up in everyday life, disguised as habits, thoughts, emotions, even relationships. They thrive in chaos, confusion, and compromise. Every time someone chooses pride over humility, hate over love, greed over contentment, they're creating spaces where these spirits can operate. Demons don't always need an invitation through rituals or ceremonies. Sometimes, all it takes is a mindset. That addiction you can't shake. It's not just physical. It's spiritual bondage. That toxic relationship you keep going back to. It's more than emotions. It's a soul tie, a stronghold. That overwhelming fear or depression. It's not just mental health. Sometimes, it's spiritual oppression. People think they're in control, but that's the biggest lie of all. Demons don't just want to influence you. They want to own you. They want to hijack your purpose, drain your energy, and keep you distracted so you never realize who you really are. That's why fasting is so powerful. When you fast, You're not just skipping meals. You're starving the influence of darkness in your life. You're cutting off the spiritual parasites that feed on your weaknesses. Fasting sharpens your mind, strengthens your spirit, and aligns you with the Most High. It's a weapon, not a diet. Prayer isn't just talking to God, it's warfare. But not the kind of empty, repetitive prayers people throw around in church. I'm talking about prayers that command authority. Prayers that tear down strongholds. Prayers that break generational curses. Most people pray like they're begging God to do something. But real prayer is about standing in your authority, knowing you've been given power over these forces.